Hey, hi, hello. Welcome to whatever episode this is. We're in the mid-teens. You get to hear my chair crack. But hello, welcome. So we have El Dago here. I just managed to get through my burnout a little bit this week. I figured out that was the kind of the problem. When you're doing the same thing in and out, your brain eventually is like, nah. So we have a few extra pages in this done this week. And I figured out how I have to tackle junk journals for me to like them, especially when I'm making them in bulk the way that I am. So why don't we look at the clusters first. Get this out of the way. We have our solids here, which I still want to make that construction paper-based junk journal. I might start doing that soon with how many clusters I have. And almost every single page in that junk journal is going to have these. I was thinking if I do that, though, I'm probably going to do a mini junk journal series where I do several of these, but small. Probably just short little 10, 15 page junk journals. If I ever sell them, it'll be $10, $15. I've been thinking I'll probably sell mine that way. $1 per page, I think is fair with how much work goes into them. And then, let's look at these guys. We did about, some of these are left over from prior stuff. I was going through my things and I found old clusters. So not all of these were done this week. Majority of them were. Look how cute that is. Like I said, just some cluster work. Really simple, really easy. I actually enjoy the ones that are slightly off center. I have a bunch of these where it's just it's like a Pokemon thing and then a different color that matches it. This came from one of the 151 sets that came out because I love the 151 set. The Almighty Eye. Anyway, so that's that. I'm gonna put these in this bin right here, which I think I'm gonna have slightly off to the side this time. You hear noise in the background. My blanket's in the washer today. I'll be washing all of my bedding today. Hey, look, another eyeball right there. Ooh. It's important to wash your bedding regularly. Try to stay up on that. Look how big this one is. Like, there's a large one. Then we got this one is also really large. I did this week. This is supposed to be a really fun, whimsical, crafty one I could put in. The big ones are good, just as good as the small ones. The small ones help fill in like little voids, but I prefer the big ones because they kind of take up a whole page, and they can also work as a pocket. So it's like two birds, you know. This bag's full. Might need to get another bin here soon. I do have a second bin, but it's filled with what is it filled with? It's filled with completed ones. So I could go through and complete a bunch of them, but you know, I don't know. So it's been, this week's actually been pretty fine. I've been streaming Randomizer on stream. I've been doing Elden Ring. It's been very fun. I've been getting some compliments on that. That's been nice. I have my my co-host with me, which is Brynglby. So this, I decided I was going to start working, because I was working from front to back, which isn't really how I like to work on these things. I like to jump around and set up similar designs throughout the junk journal. So what I decided to do is I'm going to go back to how I used to do it. So I was doing stenciling this week. I also did this, but so I did stenciling this week. So these are two stencils here, and then when you flip to the next signature, we have this stencil and when I find it, we will see. Got some more stenciling here. Well, frick. I think it's this page. I think they're just... No, it's not. You know, sometimes when you're, like, doing this type of stuff, you just can't find the page that you worked on. I think there was a smaller page in between the other ones, but oh, here it is. But that's the reason why I love junk journals, is there's so much to look at. There's so much to do. When you first get one, like as a gift or something, you could spend hours looking through the I love this setup. You can spend hours looking through the pages. And you can write on this with black ink. Like, that's completely possible. And stenciling's really easy. So for this design, I just took a stencil, this edge here, and just layered it up and did a little bit of ink closer to the edge and let the bottom part be a little white. And the other ones are just layering stencils. So it's very easy to do that. Anyway, that's all I really did this week. Except one other thing. I've been slowly going through my scraps and turning them into blank cards. So I have 2 more blank cards that are completed here. And it's just literally just a part of a book page. This was a art design book I bought a long time ago for Chibi, and I realized I don't draw that way. And I don't want to. Don't buy drawing books. Look up guides. If you need to draw and you want to draw human bodies, the best thing to do is take an online anatomy class. Same thing with animal. You can take an online animal anatomy and an online human anatomy. They're not that expensive, especially if you do like your own outside course for college or community college. I think at most it'll probably be $200, which $200 is a lot of money. But you got to think how much these books are. Like, if you're buying a few of these books as a guide for your creativity, you're just stifling it. Look up anatomy. Look up just the core inside components of what you're trying to build, so you can have a better understanding of what it is that you're trying to build. And then the rest will fall into place. You don't want someone to tell you to draw a hand a specific way. You don't want someone to tell you to draw a face a particular way. At that point, you're just mimicking. At that point, you're just copying. The true creativity comes from seeing something and then personalizing it your own way internally, and then showcasing it externally. You know. Anyway. I think that's it for today. I think I'm done. It wasn't a long video. Never going to be a long video. Well, hopefully never going to. I'm thinking about doing a side quest this week, but I'm unsure if I want to. If I do, it'll be filmed at a later date. I have a lot of chores I need to get done today. I guess that's it. I hope you have a great day today. I've oh boy, do I have a lot of reading I want to do today. I'm studying Vampire the Masquerade a little bit better. I have 2 friends currently that are very interested in that. So I want to learn so I can communicate with them about it. But I have no idea what it is. So that's fun. Have a great day. I'm going to end the video now.